Hey everybody, we're back in the booth today. We have everything in our final high build primer. You can see we have the entire body done, and we've got 4 coats on the body, and we're just starting to sand. All our components need to be wet sanded, and I am using 400 grit paper, and I've got a bucket of water. We're sanding wet. It keeps your sandpaper lasting a lot longer, and it cuts much better. So I always wet sand, and everything needs to be wet sanded. And we're going to start on the hood. Now we know, because I took a lot of time getting the hood and all the panels straight, we know everything is going to sand up nice. So let me get you on that hood. Now if we were doing a panel and we weren't exactly sure about what it was going to look like, we could lay a guide coat down there. Some guys like to spray paint. I don't like that. It clogs the paper up. I use a dry powder system. It's made by 3M. It's just a guide coat. It's powder. I'll show you. It's got a little applicator. Again, I normally wouldn't put this on. There's a little bit of water on there. I wouldn't put this on because I know the hood is in real good shape. But I just want to show you guys, if you're concerned about some areas, just kind of get that on there. If you're concerned about some areas and you don't know if you got highs and lows and you want everything perfectly straight, you put a guide coat on there. And here's a piece of 400 wet dry paper. This is made by Klingspor. I like their paper. It's good quality stuff. And we can use a block with this, or we could do it by hand. Here's a couple blocks, same blocks I used when I was roughing the filler in. So you just take a piece of paper and you start sanding. The good thing about the wet paper is you go back, clean it off, and it cuts real good. It doesn't get clogged up like if you're sanding dry. If you're going to sand dry, you can get away with 320 grit. I'm just lightly going over that because I want to show you the difference. I'm just going to take a towel. Okay, that tells us what we need to do here. We've got plenty of high build on there so we can sand. And we know it's going to be flat when we get all that black out of there. A lot of guys think just gliding a piece of sandpaper over a panel is all you need, but you can see this black guide coat will tell you where you are. You actually, it takes some sanding. You can't just kind of wash it over there and think that your panel is going to be flat. I think we're close on that one area. Okay, now you can see this area here, that is smooth and flat. You could see, where we have to go on this whole panel to make it flat. So that's the purpose of a guide coat. And once you get the feel of sanding, you'll know that you can't just kind of take your paper and just kind of wash it over there. That's not what sanding is all about. This is your final chance to get your panels the way you want them. This is it. This is your final go around. You're wet sanding, and you're making this hood or any body part as nice as you can possibly make it before that prairie gold goes down. So that's basically what sanding is all about. You have to put the time in if you want your panels nice. So we've got a tremendous amount of sanding to do. We've got the inside, the outside of every single panel. So I don't want to bore you with it, but I think you get the idea. So we're going to put guide coat on everything. Just so I could show you, like I say, I know how much sanding it needs, but I'm gonna put the guide coat on everything so you can see it, and you can watch it go from just rough high build primer to a finished product. So I've got a lot to do, but I'll take you along and show you how it goes as it happens. Okay guys, we're making progress. The hood came out beautiful, and I moved on to the dash. Tailgate is done. You can see I'm going to start on the fenders. Got those with a guide coat on them. And the grill was a lot of hand sanding, hard to get blocks and stuff in there, but the grill is done. Toolbox cover is finished. And on the fenders, we're going to sand the inside and the underside just to get some tooth into it. And we'll make the outside look beautiful. And then it's going to be on to the body. A lot of work there. And we're going to sand the inside real good, and the outside and the underside we'll just scuff real nice so the paint sticks real good. So still a lot to do, but we're gaining on it. And you can see in the hood there is none of the guide coat left anywhere. So we have a beautiful, super smooth surface with just enough tooth in it to hold our next coat. So we're gaining on it. I've got a lot more sanding to do, so I'm going to get at it now. Okay guys, it's been a long day of sanding and washing things down. We've got all the parts done now, and body came out fantastic. Super smooth, ready for the coat of before our color and after this. So we sanded it, and the next thing is going to be a coat of sealer, and that's basically our epoxy primer reduced anywhere from 5 to 50%, and that is going over everything. That's going to be one light coat over everything, and we can either wait a couple hours and put our top coat on, or what I like to do even better is let it go overnight and then paint the next day. So because we've got so much water from the wet sanding and things like that, I generally don't like to paint the same day. Obviously if this was a collision shop or an accident shop, you know, obviously we'd rush the painting and stuff and get it all done, but restoration quality stuff, we're gonna let this sit overnight. Everything will be super dry tomorrow. We'll give it a real good wash down with some wax and grease remover, and we'll spray our sealer. We'll let that sit overnight, and I think we got some rain for Wednesday, but maybe Thursday or so we'll be shooting the Prairie Gold. So it looks like a pretty good week for weather, and we're going to call this one quits here. Just a quick one to show you guys how to do the wet sanding and get prepped for it. The hood also silky smooth. Our sealer and Prairie Gold will lay down perfectly. So next stage is going to be sealer and then the final coat. So getting close to pickup time for you, Tom, and you'll see what's happening. Like I say, I'm hoping to be in Prairie Gold this week, so start clearing your schedule for a pickup. Unless something goes wrong or we get some bad weather, I'm going to stick with it, but keep watching and you'll see the finished product soon. So as always, everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.